How's it going, everybody? What's going on? I'm Go Veer Go Home, and welcome to Third Rail Thursday. A little bit of a different thing going on here tonight. I'm going to be doing some work on the layout. I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes or so for people to join, and we'll be able to take a look and see what I'm working on tonight. And we'll see who's here. All right, so I go back in the chat. Whoops. I don't know if this thing is just buffering or what. Oop. Guess I gotta remove that, huh? Wow. Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello. Alrighty. Oh, train. So we do have a train running as well tonight. I'll be kind of working around that. Knowing me, I'll probably end up turning off the volume for it because it does get a little bit loud and you have to kind of talk over it. There we go. So it'll just run. It'll run around and that's fine. Okay. So who is here? Okay, so we've got Mark and Ronald and Todd. How's it going? And then we also have Mikey Joe Trains and Anthony. How's it going? Dave Hughes, Scott's Winchester and Western. How's it going? BNN Ironwood. How's it going? And everybody's talking. Football starts in 10 minutes. Uh-oh. Kenneth, how's it going? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Okay, so Third Rail Thursday. So Third Rail Thursday happens, of course, every Thursday night. Typically, the first Thursday of the month goes to N-Scale Dystopia. You know Denny? It's him. We switched weeks. So he wasn't able to go live tonight. So that's why I'm here. Typically, I'm the second week. So when you come back next week, you'll be over on Denny's channel. The third week, of course, belongs to M&M Rails. And then the fourth Thursday of the month is GVO After Dark. So, you got a fun month ahead of you. It's September. Kids are back in school. Mark's back in school. So, it's been quiet around here. And, sorry, Mark. But yeah, so it's gets pretty quiet around here, so I'm able to do a little bit more when the kids are gone all day, which is great. Fred E, how's it going? Trackside Mike, keeping it on the tracks, how's it going? Dundas Junction Model Railroad, how's it going? So yeah, basically I get a bit more time to work on the layout and whatnot, which is great. But tonight, we are going to be doing a little thing that I call 4 feet at a time. Typically what that means to me is that you're picking a 4-foot section and you're going over it with your details and your scenicking. Basically you're just working on an individual section. Most of my layout is like a foot, 2 feet deep, in some cases 40 inches, but it's not the depth of it that matters. You're just choosing a 4-foot section and you're focusing on that. So for the 4-foot section that I want to work on is basically from that hole in the wall there, right where this is where my paper mill is. up to that little door that you're seeing on the far left there. And this is a crucial area, I think. It's an area that you guys probably don't get to see all that much, but when I start doing more operations, you definitely will get to see more of this area. It's set up to be able to do switching and whatnot, because it is a full paper mill with several buildings, you know, and it'll house box cars. I got a couple of these from Rapido. These are the Rapido cars there. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera. Oh, there they are. I slid them over. They carry the sodium chlorite. And then we got the GO train on the go there as well. Hey Floyd. Hey Rail Artist. And I saw somebody else. Derek. How's it going, Derek? If I missed anybody, I do apologize. But yeah, so basically, we've got some box cars, we've got some of the hoppers that will deliver some chemicals as well. So we do want to, get this area a little bit more finished so that we can, have what Mike would call a signature scene. And this will have a lot more detail to it. Good for taking pictures, and of course you just want your railroad to look nice as well, right? I've got the backdrop on there. I'm happy with that. The buildings are in place more or less for where I want them. Track is down, it's all wired, so it all works. So it's just a matter now of adding some more landscaping, stuff like that, ballast, and of course painting the ties and whatnot as well. So I'm going to do a bit of that here in a minute, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of take you through this to show you what I'll be working on, of course, and why I'm working on it. Even have the overhead view here. Let me see. I do want to zoom in a bit. So we're going to be working right here. There we go. And I think what we'll do is we're gonna have me in maybe the bottom corner, bottom right. Okay, there we go. I don't know if that's what you're seeing. Oh, there we go. Wow, I'm good at this. Okay. Oh, train. I'm gonna slide these back over. And the other thing I needed was a paintbrush. Paintbrush. The Closer Branch, how's it going? CP Whiskey Creek and N Scale, how's it going, Chris? Now, before the live, because I don't like doing it live, way too much pressure, I did mix a new color here. It is basically a really old, and you know what, I might even add a bit more brown to that. It is what I would classify as a old wood color. So basically the wood would start off as a brown, and then it eventually wears down into, do I want it darker? Yeah, I'll make it darker. And then it wears down into more of a, almost a gray, but I do want to make it a little bit darker. do some Bob Ross business here. Gonna paint some fluffy little clouds. Nah, I'm just gonna do these ties though, but I'm gonna do a small area here first. We'll be able to take a look at it and to see how well this works. And if it does work, then great. Just got to remember I got to put ballast over it. So if it doesn't look totally the way that I want it to, I'd still have to darken it a bit anyways. Now I won't entirely be able to see the chat, so hopefully if there's any pressing questions, I'll be able to come back to it. Looks okay so far, I think. Now I'm not going to do the main line like this, because I'd like to think that the main line would have a bit more upkeep to it. Right? This is only the, we'll call this the first layer. Trains are coming. Thanks, Mike. Mike's got this. Mike will answer my questions. Mike has the answer to all those hard-hitting questions like, what decoder do you get for what locomotive? And what function is the best to hear a horn? Or something like that. I don't know, I'm just talking right now. Oh. I also like to do the tie, the one tie yellow, to show that no cars past this point. I started doing it out in the yard area where I keep a lot of my all my storage track is, and it turned out pretty good. So I'll be continuing that same system on here. Oh, you can't even see because of the, well, either way. We're here, just do that. There, now you can actually see what I'm doing without looking at my face. Now what I would like to use is got some ballast, and I'll be able to add some of that for this area, because I probably have enough to do this section minus the main line again. But what I'll do eventually is that when I decide what my main line ballast is going to look like, I will get enough of it to do all of it all at once. Now, I used to spray. I would spray my tracks, but I can't do that here. It's a lot easier to do it. You know, you get the camo brown from the camo. I think it's a brand name, Camouflage. I've got some somewhere, but it is a tight space, and I probably shouldn't be spraying that down here. Now the other option would be like an airbrush, but I don't have an airbrush, so it's technically also not really an option. So I'm okay with acrylics, because once this is weathered up and the ballast is down, should look okay. Keyword should. And then I'll do a couple of ties as well that are brown, like they've got swapped out for some fresh ones. I'll do that over this. It almost kind of makes them look like concrete ties, but it's more of a gray than a concrete color. So last weekend we got out rail fanning. We typically do the barbecue, the trackside barbecue that weekend. But of course, because we were saying that Bubs couldn't join us because he's overseas right now, and I know James just had some heart surgery and whatnot. So, having some people that couldn't make it for obvious reasons, it didn't feel right doing it, so we didn't make a big deal of it. But a couple of us went out and we just went rail fanning, just in general, just to hang out. It was a good day. I got burnt. I think my, kind of went away a little bit because it's been almost a week, so I was a tomato. Oh, what colors did I use? So I started with white, right? So I put white in the container. Then I added 2 different shades of brown. I added some raw umber and burnt sienna. And then I put in a bit of green, and the green is really nice because it does bring out a little bit of that grayish aging look. I didn't put a lot in, but when you put it just a little bit in, it helps. And then of course a bit of black to darken it, right? Because what you're supposed to do to get the that actual look is you're mixing brown with gray. So your black and your white make the gray, right? And then you add the brown to it. In my case, I took the white and I added the brown and whatnot, and then I just darkened it with the black after. I don't know if there's a significance to doing it the other way around, but that's what you do. But yeah, I hate mixing colors live because there's like way too much pressure. Way too much pressure. So that's why I did it beforehand. It's also easier not to do that live, if that makes sense. You guys get it. But I felt that this area here hasn't gotten much love because ever since I, got more done out there, I've been out there doing all that stuff. Doing track work and adding more industries. So I wanted to make sure I came back and, to do this industry, to get more of this done. Now I'm not too worried about doing like the inside of the ties because the ballast usually fills that in pretty good, and the ballast is going to be pretty high on this. So I'm not too worried. So I'm really just going over the tops of the ties here. And no, I'm not really going to spray it. I'm not going to spray the track. If I happen to get an airbrush in the next couple of months or so, then I'll go back and I'll spray some stuff. I don't know, maybe the rails. I don't want to paint the rails with acrylic, so, well, not with an acrylic brush anyways. I really like these. These are cool. And I used to use these all the time. I don't know if you guys ever use these. The testers. And it's a paint marker, basically. So you get rust, you get rail tie brown, and rail brown. So 3 different colors. Used to be like $12, $14 for something like this. But then when you run out and you can't find any more, also going over each tie, like depending on how big your layout is. I think at the time when I had purchased that, I was working on my last layout. So imagine trying to paint the track of 3 levels, and some of it you can't even reach. So, not ideal for doing that all by hand. I did spray most of that layout, but it, again, you know, spraying indoors is not always the best thing to do. Especially if there's people in your house that, not necessarily they're allergic to it, but they're sensitive to the different scents. And if it's too strong, then they get like headaches and whatnot. You definitely don't want to upset people, or, you know. cause issues. Now, if I do miss any questions, I'll come back, and I usually like to check the chat after, once it finishes finalizing or uploading or whatever. And I usually go back through the chat and see if there was any questions, but just in case I miss any. I know it's difficult to do this on such a small amount of space, and then my computer is behind me. So yeah, it's difficult to focus on 5 things at once, especially when I got this train running around too. The train's gonna show up any moment. Big CW, what's going on? It is like watching paint dry. It's exactly like watching paint dry. Crispy Edward wants to know what unit number is your GO train. Oh, the one that's on the move right now, that was 624, I believe. And I also have 663. So I've got 2 of the what are they called? MP40. But one of them is Atlas and the other is True Line Trains. I was running my F-59s around the layout, and they always get stuck at one particular section. Not so much stuck as it trips the reverse loop, but it gets stuck at the part where it transfers back over. It's almost as if it doesn't trigger it, if that makes sense, or it doesn't reverse it. So it's very weird. So I'm not sure if I have to correct something there, but I probably do. But I haven't had time to really look at it and say, oh, okay, that's what it is. Yeah, 624. I think it'll look 1,000 times better once there's a whatchamacallit, ballast over it, but that's just me being optimistic. Now, my schedule might change a little bit. I do have a job interview tomorrow. It's still within the same company, but it's a different position, a higher position. And I just don't know how it's going to go with the schedule. So we'll have to see what happens. The one thing I did notice, and I'm definitely taking into consideration, is that during the premiere that I did on Monday, where it was the 10-year anniversary video, a lot of people are mentioning that they want me to bring back the Sunday brunch kit builds. And in a very big way, I really want to do that too. Problem is that right now, as it stands compared to when I was doing it, is that I could do every Sunday, but right now the most I can do is every other Sunday, which I'm sure some people still wouldn't mind if it was every other Sunday. Hey Glenn, how's it going? What do I prefer, the Trueline unit, Atlas, or the Rapido F59? That is a good question. The only one that I really haven't had issues with, if I'm being honest, is the Trueline. Yeah. With the, I like the F59s. They're very slow. Like I have to put them up to 50 in order for them to actually move at a decent speed, which obviously you can change in the settings, but it just seems unnatural compared to most other locomotives where you put them up to like 20 and they're flying, you know. So that, you know, that's weird to me. The Atlas one looks great, but I really wish they would just do a Go unit as opposed to, you know, me having to spend extra money to get it painted and whatnot. Performance-wise, it's okay. I do find that it was derailing a little bit where other locomotives wouldn't. So I don't know if that's the wheels themselves or the axles. Again, it's one of those things I haven't really looked into. But yeah, nothing beats an original. The original being the Trueline. But that's not to say I don't like the other ones, because I do like the other ones. I run my F59s, no problem, right? Like I usually take them all to the club. I'll take 2 F59s and one of my MP40s. I even took both my MP40s one time. I don't like the paint on it, though, and I don't know if it's the locomotive versus the cars, because the cars are so clean and they're so white. But next to the Trueline Trains locomotive, the Trueline Trains loco is more of a cream, or a creme, whatever you want to say. So it does look weird having a... I don't even know if it was white at one point, because you know how if you have plastic, white plastic eventually turns, but I'm pretty sure it's still like, it's paint that's on there, it's not flat plastic. So I'm not sure what the dealio is with that. I still have to convert a lot of my sounds over on the Atlas one because it's treated as an MP36 and I painted it like it's a, an MP40. So the sound is wrong. And I think the ditch lights flash too, which probably shouldn't happen on a Go unit. But I've heard mixed things about that. I don't think I've ever seen one in the wild flash, but people say they do. But I don't know. Oh, I guess move over this way a little bit. Southdown switching layout. Leo, how's it going? Mike has seen Go Train ditch lights flash. Huh. Usually, yeah, you're right. It's not normal around here. So I'm going to stagger some of these now because this is the main line here. So I think, don't think I'll go any further than this one with. Might do another. There we go. And then I'll have to go back that way, of course, but I think sticking around here is fine for now. Oh. Okay, so we want to let that dry a little bit, and what I'm going to do in the meantime, I'm going to fill this in here. I guess the camera's got to come back this way now. I'm going to fill this in here. Got my little cart of ballast and all that here too. Just kind of looking through, see what I got. You know, I'm pretty sure I'm missing some. That's the problem with moving. Every time you move, you lose a bunch of stuff, and you have no idea where it is after. Burnt grass. Well, I'm gonna put some of this down, and then I'm gonna need to do some of the what's it called? Static grass over top. Anyways. I got my isopropyl. Just need another cruddy brush for glue. Hey August, how's it going? Now, I usually do the greenery and whatnot before I deballast anyways, so this is kind of perfect. Works for me anyways. This particular bottle of glue seems a lot thicker than my other ones. I don't know why. I don't like the thicker glue, but it's what I have right now. I don't think I have time to run to the dollar store and get more at this very moment. That's when it gets to be really ballasty in this area. So I'll probably just need to come back this way a bit, and then we can start using the shaker. This is typically where they hit you with that, ooh, oh. But then they realize it's such a bland color green, and they're like, oh. Not too shabby. That's typically how I want this to look. Although, like I said, I could have sworn I had another green, like a brighter green as well. I don't think I used it all up. I just want to check that. because I checked, but you know, my eyes not the greatest. Okay, I did find this, which is a earth blend. So I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of this as well. Maybe just on this side. Good, good. Oh, ballast. Now this is probably the ballast I was using for the main line of my last layout, and that's probably why there's tape around the the bottle. Most likely, anyways. Mind you, this has all been like this for months. You know what I mean? Like, this fascia's been on here for a while, and I filled this all in like a long time ago. So it's still a process that takes a while, you know? I don't think I could just like jump into it and bam, you know, done. There's still quite a bit that you have to go through to get to even this point here, so. Now, I do want to I'm gonna just use this and typically I have my little hopper thing. Ooh, spider. Typically I have my little hopper thing that will push the ballast along here, but it's such a weird area with all the little details and whatnot. I'm just gonna do it this way instead, just for this area here. Come on, man, we're trying to get some work done here. How are you doing? Come on, train. Always waiting on those trains. I won't be able to glue this ballast down tonight anyways, but to get it started is still something, right? Glad I made these removable. The cool thing about this is that the ballast here hides the crack, or the fact that this is a platform that this is all sitting on. So I pile up the ballast enough along here that it makes it all look like it's one, as opposed to it looking like it's sitting on a platform and then I can remove it at any point. Hey Russ, how's it going? Hey Anthony, how's it going? And Randall, how's it going? All the cool kids are here. What's going on, everybody? I had to wait for that train to pass, obviously, in order for me to continue on here. I should really be using my hopper for this, but oh well. Ballasting is one of those things that are up there on my list of things that most people would find annoying to do, but is actually kind of relaxing. Some other people will probably find it relaxing as well. Keeping in mind, when I did my last layout, I ballasted the entire bottom level, most of the second level, and I didn't even get to really ballast the top level. So that kind of sucked. I often look back at videos of that layout and I'm like, yeah, I kind of miss that layout too. And even my wife, who normally doesn't have an opinion whatsoever on the trains and all that, she's like, that was your best layout. And I'm like, oh, that makes me feel better about this current layout. And I'm like, well, we just got to stop moving, that's all. That way I can put a lot of time and effort into one layout as opposed to being concerned of whether or not I'm going to move next week or not. I really like how they use the blue and the yellow on that. I think it looks really good. Just saying. I'll show you a better view of this once I finish here. Right now you're just kind of seeing the bird's eye view version of this, but it probably looks better this way. Now I do need to put some coloring on that, so I don't want to skip too far ahead. I thought I had a spoon or something somewhere. You know what, I'm just going to use a container. I think I've got, yeah. I have a couple that I've already started. I'm just going to, dust. I'm going to empty that into here. Should probably just hot glue these in because they do move, and I don't like that they move. Okay, now they're not moving. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so that looks okay so far. That's definitely going to need static grass, for sure. But just to kind of get a visual... See what I mean? It's like this was in there, no problem. Wasn't touching this before. I just didn't want to glue them in or anything because of the fact that I knew I had to ballast and everything here. Okay. So when we look at it, like this, no. Let's get rid of the picture-in-picture. And then I can show you this way. Okay, so far, so good. Sort of. It's getting there. I mean, it looks better than what it did, right? I hope. Okay, let's move these out of here. Again, none of this is glued down except for the green here, so I gotta be mindful of that. Whoops. Vallejo. Making your layouts and locomotives look a little bit dirtier, but a little bit more realistic. Now what I'm doing is I'm dry brushing. So obviously you can see that I've got my trusty napkin here. And what I'm doing is I'm going over the cracks and the edges of this little part here, because I never did that before. This is like a new piece, I guess you could say. And I basically just want to highlight the concrete, because it's not only is it aged concrete, but it's also dirty aged concrete. I need to make that all look like it's almost like it's one thing. So just to let you guys know, this is the engine color. Color is Weather FX Vallejo engine. And all I'm doing is dry brushing the cracks. And I'll go, of course, a little bit on top just to kind of, again, give that concrete a bit of an aged look in certain spots here. Maybe a bit of a dirtier look, maybe right along the edging too. Because this is cork, like I used cork for all this, it already gives it that natural aged kind of weathered look with the concrete color on top. But then, of course, you know, layers. It's all about the layers. And don't get any on your look, because knowing me, this paintbrush will go flying and it'll take out all these cars and I'll be very upset. Talking about James's bucket hat. Okay, I don't have too much further to go here. Glad I was able to use up that little bit of ballast that I had left over in the cups, because that was sitting in my drawer since I moved in here. Now there is a kit that I'm looking to get I don't think I would do it as a group build though, but I do want to get a kit and do a whole build series on it because it's a pretty big kit. It's got to be worth it, right? And it's something that I'll be looking into in the near future, so hopefully watch out for that, because you know me, I like doing these big builds, these big kit builds. So they're always fun to watch. Now there's another thing I wanted to do with this section here before I get too far along with it, and that's I want to add a fence. And I already have the fence because I saved all the stuff from my old layout, and that includes my Woodland Scenics fencing. So I do have some of that, and it's right above me, so I'm gonna have to grab that. But yeah, I have to find a piece that would look really good there. Should just remove the darn thing. This is what happens when you work right in the middle of the layout. You get twice as much traffic. It's a good thing I didn't have a second train going. I wouldn't get any work done. Let's see. about fencing. Okay, so I got a lot of this fencing from Woodland Scenics, and I mean, even this piece might be good. It's just, it's not great because it curves in certain spots, so trying to get it flat, it's not always easy. Maybe if I do this little by little, it might be. Or not. I am going to want to see how far away this fence should be. Okay, so back it up. I'll back it up to here. Just don't like how sometimes some of these curve, and then because it's super delicate, you don't want to bend it so far that it breaks, but you want to like bend it back into shape. Okay, that should be good. Napkin, where'd that napkin go? Oh yeah, here it is. So I'm going to white glue along the bottom of this. And hope it stays. It's not staying. Probably should put something on there to weight it down so that it doesn't move, but I might not have that option. I don't know yet. Oops. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to stop the train and put something on there to hold those up. But what? Okay, so far so good, I think. Is that fabricated or kit fencing laying on the ground? That fencing there, so it's actually Woodland Scenics. So you buy it and it's already made like that. There's two different well, there's actually more, but I've got two different kinds here. I've got the chain link fence, which is what I'm installing right now. And then there's also the wood panel fencing. But then they also have like picket fencing and other stuff. But yeah, I don't have any of that. So I'm just using what I've got right now. But technically the this fencing here is accurate anyways, so or accurate enough. Oh my gosh. I hate things like that. It's one of those times where I wish I had extra hands. Okay, we're good so far. And I'm sure you want to see what this looks like. So yeah, just putting the fence along here. Hopefully the white glue holds it down. If not, I'll have to come up with another idea. But yeah, they also have this kind of fencing as well, where it looks like, you know, wood fence, and it comes pre-weathered. I didn't do that. The gross stuff on the bottom is because it was on my old layout. Just kind of grabbed that. I don't know why I grabbed that. So yeah, it's just kind of making the industry happen here. So the next one would go here. Whoops. Okay, so we got some glue on that. It's not going to be perfectly straight, but neither are most fences. Just gonna have to give the illusion that it is. But I do need a thing for that, so I'll grab another one of these. keep going along here. And yeah, I'll probably have to leave those sticks on till tomorrow, let the whole thing dry, because it's white glue, right? So sometimes it does take a while for it to dry, fortunately. And then I'll probably do just this one last one here. I don't think I need to go too far with it. I don't think so anyways. Have a good night. I'm on overtime? Uh-oh. Was it after 9:30? I gotta call it quits soon because I gotta go get my wife. So. That's totally gonna fall over, so I should get some support for that. So it looks like it's leaning. Oh, you know what? No, it's not. I am wrong. But I am still going to put this on here to hold that down. It does look like it is leaning a bit though. There we go. Good. I am mostly happy with that. Don't look at it from above, but yeah, other than that, I mean the ground is kind of bumpy in that area, so hopefully I can cover up most of that with some static grass and make it look a little better. Yeah, you got this area here. I know you can't really tell because of the stupid popsicle sticks, but pretty cool. I know I need more of this fencing for the other side too, so I'm going to save this. I've got quite a bit. I can't remember how many packs of that stuff that I got. But I had quite a few sections that had the fencing in it. So I do need to clean up some of this as well. Actually, let's do that over here. I'll have to come back and, you know, glue all this down and whatnot. I don't have any of my 50-50 water and glue mixture on me, so yeah, won't be able to do that part, get all that down. But I like to do this all as one section when I do the ballasting. So there's that. But we'll keep working away at this, and hopefully get this entire section done, like all, I think this is 9 feet plus a little bit on the end there. So hopefully get the 9 to 12 feet of this done by the end of the year, and we'll continue on with it. Pretty happy so far. Again, I do want to leave the main line separate for now, but that's okay. We can always come back and hit that at another time. It's not a big deal. But the big part is most of this, you know, like all the stuff that you can see, like when you're looking at it. I do want to add a bit more weathering to the buildings as well, but I can do that while it's in place like this. So that's not a big deal. But yeah, and then all the other little detail things that I'll need to add as I go. Yep. Let's see. Let's come over here for a minute. Just want to see what everybody's saying. Okay. I'm going to take off too. All right, Dave, you have yourself a good night. Thanks, Mike. Progress. It is progress, right? It's something, right? I don't like sitting dormant for too long, you know, because then I feel like nothing's happening. Nothing is changing. If I don't see change happening with the layout, then I'm like, what am I doing? You know, I got to keep busy with it. And, you know, I think that's why I think a lot of people say that I move a lot quicker. I just, you know, I'm constantly doing something with it. And that's how you keep, you know, the interest. That's, you know, you're constantly thinking about it. You're like, what do I do next? What can I do? What can go here? Et cetera, et cetera. And even the kit that I want to get, right? It's going to go out there on the other side of the paper mill. So I'm looking forward to doing another big kit project. So that'll be probably one of the big next things that I do, depending on when I get that in. But yeah, I really appreciate everybody coming out. Don't forget, Monday nights, James and Mike are live at 7 o'clock. Come back next week, but over on to Denny's channel and Scale Dystopia. And he'll be live. He'll be showing you stuff and working away. Because he's got a good layout too. So he's up next week. But until then, I'm Govere Go Home. Thanks for watching. Oh, which kit? That's a surprise. I can tell you it's a wood kit. It's a wood kit there, Todd. But that's all I'm going to say. I'm in love with the wood kits now. You guys are terrible. I did the one, and then Anthony sent me the little wood kit. And now I'm in love with the wood kits. So I want to do a really big wood kit project. I think it'll be fun. TLCS, how's it going? Yeah, we're calling it. We're throwing in the towel. It's been a long day. I'm off all weekend, so who knows? Maybe I might do a random live or something. It's not a train station. It'll be an industry. But good guess. Good guess. But I guess you'll have to come back, and maybe I'll talk more about it next time, or if I happen to get it in, then we'll see what happens. But until then, I've got a train to catch. You guys have yourselves a great